Hello, Joe Reyes from One Step Technologies. Reaching out to you out of a conversation I had with a client of mine that, like yourself, she's a jeweler. She wants to transform her store from four walls, local market, to still keeping that, but going into the web and having a fully functional website, having as many items as she can showcase online, meaning from her different suppliers, certainly more than her physical environment would permit, meaning square footage showcase, etc. Sounds great. And I'm a big fan of online e-commerce. You're making your exposure greater than your local market. You could be nationwide, you could be global, depending on how you want to approach it. But I always say this to every single jewelry client. Proceed with caution when it comes to it. Now, this is based on one simple notion. When you have a repeat customer, you have that past history. You know who they are. You've been able to build a relationship, some sort of trust. So when it comes to repeat customers and shipping something out of the store, probably less chance of risk. When it's a new customer, the chance of risk is elevated if they're buying not across the counter, because again, across the counter, like my past videos, contactless chip, the burden shifts back to the cardholder to prove that they didn't buy it. When it's card not present, the burden always falls on the merchant, period. They have to prove that they did the transaction, they shipped, everything matches up, and they have to prove it. So basically, you're guilty and you have to prove your innocence, all right? And that's the unfortunate, the way Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and Amex operate. So with that said, and I'm not trying to say you don't sell online, proceed with caution, and that is when even the sale matches up and you get that email verification that says, Joe Reyes, use myself, 401 West Park Court, Peachtree City, Georgia, everything matches up, looks good. If you don't know me, you're still going to get that email. You're going to have all those details, including my contact information, meaning email, phone number. It's not going to have my account, credit card number there. That's all stays within the gateway, PCI. You don't have to worry about that. That's over there, okay? But you're going to see the last four digits of the card number. You know it's a Visa. You should reach out to me. And you should say, hey, thanks for buying from XYZ Diamonds. We're honored to have your business. However you want to say it, but basically what I'm suggesting here is before you ship the item to them, you might want to consider a rerouting. If you use FedEx or UPS, for example, they have a bunch of stores, thousands of them across the United States between those two common carriers. You could look up the closest UPS or FedEx store, in my case, to me. And there is, here in Peachtree City, we have UPS, Fayetteville is got FedEx. So within 3 to 5 miles of my domicile, my office, in that case, you could ship the item to. Now, if I'm looking to commit potential fraud on you, I'm the purchaser, whether I'm the authorized cardholder or not, I can game the system because if you ship it to my house, and even if the FedEx or UPS driver came and asked for my signature, those little notepads, the stylus, or you use your finger, does it ever match your signature? Did they take a picture of you receiving the package? No. Okay? They got 300 to 400 packages delivered by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're not slowing down to go through those steps. They're not asking you for your driver's license to match up, all right? Or they're not carefully looking at it. So what I'm proposing, and I've helped jewelers defend against a potential sale going south on them by rerouting. And what I mean by rerouting is say, I'm going to ship for your security and for ours, we're going to ship to the FedEx store. It's 4.3 miles from your home. You'll get notified when it's there. You'll have to go in, government issued ID, and they'll have your package safe and secure. This way we know you got it, you received it, it was in a secure environment. If they're looking to commit an illegitimate transaction, if they're looking to potentially steal from you, because that is theft. They use a card and they purchase something and they don't have the intent to buy. Really, is it that much different than if they came in and smashed your jewelry case and grabbed something and ran out? I always say the smart thief is the one that you can't ID. Never came in your store. You could pass them on the street, you would never know. Okay, the smash and grab robber is the stupid thief, because you have your surveillance. There's other ways that they could be profiled, eventually maybe be caught. All right, the one that does it through the cyber world, the way to stop that is to ask them to go into a FedEx or UPS store. When they walk into that store, they're going to be asked for their ID, all right? And that clerk behind the counter doesn't have 400 packages delivered by 4 o'clock in the afternoon either. There are 3 barriers that a cyber thief, or in this case, a legitimate purchaser, is not going to want to contend with. 1 is store surveillance, the video equipment. 2 is clerk. 3 is that they have to present their government ID. And they're going to look at it a little bit closer than the FedEx or UPS driver. If you do that, you could prevent a chargeback dispute that goes against you. And if it goes against you, we're talking, I'm not saying that the $50 item to do this, but the $500 plus upward transaction, that's the thing you will need to look at, because the last thing you want to do is lose $500 or lose $5,000 or $50,000 or somewhere in between. This one step can save you on that. Think about the grief, the aggravation, everything else that results. So that's my tip. If you got any questions on it, you want to get additional information, more than welcome to reach out to me, joe@onesteptech.com. And sorry for being long with it, but this is an important topic. Thank you.